QD phase, the heat which is entering it is called as QX. That QX is nothing but heat influx. And the heat which is leaving, let us say from GHEF, this phase, in this phase, the heat which is leaving, that is called as heat efflux in X direction. So heat influx in X direction, heat efflux in X direction. Similarly, here, if we observe here, this is the heat influx in Y direction, heat efflux in Y direction. Meanwhile, heat influx in Z direction, heat efflux in Z direction. Right. So, what is the heat which is going through the wall? Input heat, that is, let us say, heat influx. What is heat efflux? That is important. For example, this heat is being transferring from this phase to this phase through this distance dx. That means the thickness of that particular wall is dx or delta x. Here in the another figure it is shown as delta x. Right. So here this is qx, and this is the heat efflux. That means what is heat efflux? Through the small distance delta x, what is the change in heat? That is called as heat efflux. This is heat influx. Heat influx is nothing but Qx. Heat efflux is nothing but Q dot x plus dx. In the x direction, throughout the distance delta x. That is the heat influx and efflux. Right. So here, similarly, y direction. These are the things. In the z direction, these are the things. It doesn't matter. It has taken different origin, so the directions were changed in two different figures. So this is the terminology. What is the heat influx and what is heat efflux? Now, the heat generated within the element, or if you take any object or any solid surface, the surface itself generates some heat. That is called as this Qg. It is at the bottom it is written. At the bottom, this is Qg is equal to Qg into dx dy dz. This dx dy dz is nothing but volume. The volume of the complete element. If you know the three sides, let us say A, B, C, you can find out the volume. See, I write this as delta x as A, delta y as B, delta z as C. This is height, width, length, all those things. So if you multiply all these three, you will get the volume. So here this Qg is nothing but internal heat generation. We call this as heat generated within the element. That is equal to Qg into dx dy dz. What is this? In the coming analysis we will discuss. Next, so let T is the temperature of the phase A, B, C, D. Left phase. Here, where the heat is being entering, Qx. At A, B, C, D phase, the temperature is at this temperature T. At the phase, the temperature is T. Right. Next, dt by dx is nothing but a temperature change in x direction. Temperature change or rate of change along x direction. And similarly, dt by dy, y direction, dt by dz in z direction. In that way, you can write. You have to write like that. Right. So this is in x direction. Again, dt by dy, temperature change with respect to y direction, temperature change with respect to z direction. It need to be written. So this, what we call this T is nothing but the temperature at the left face of the particular elemental volume, Cartesian elemental volume at the temperature at left face A, B, C, D. Right. Next, then the small derivative here, as we know that when you consider the small elemental volume, definitely you have to go for the partial derivatives. Right. So then dou T by dou x into dx. This dou T by dou x into dx is nothing but change of temperature through distance dx. Change of temperature through distance dx in another side of another phase. That means I'll come back. in this phase, the right side of this phase, here, that is the temperature. Dou T by dou x times dx, because it is passing through the thickness dx. That is the reason it has been written. The first derivation only you have to understand, everything is same, but the thing is coordinates will change. That is the reason the derivation becomes complicated. That's what I'm making you to understand all these things. Okay. Next. So dou T by dou x into dx is change of temperature through distance dx. Right. Now I have the temperature T here. I have the temperature T at the left phase. But what is the temperature at right phase? If there must be some change in temperature through the distance, then only this T plus this change is giving you the temperature on the right phase. TFGH. For example, you take your phone, one phase in the phone, it is QX, that has a temperature T. Another phase it is the QX plus dx, because the thickness is dx or delta x. At that phase, the temperature is T plus dou T by dou x into dx. Similarly, in y direction, what becomes this change? Dou T by dou x in y direction as dou T by dou y into dy. In the z direction again, dou T by dou z into dz. In the same way, the temperatures of respective other phases of in the other directions at T plus here again dou T by dou y into dy in y direction. In z direction, again it becomes T plus dou T by dou z into dz. Right? All these things need to be written while practicing. Right? Now, this is the terminology, and further there are three different dimensions x, y, z. I assume kx is thermal conductivity of x direction, ky is thermal conductivity of y direction, kz is nothing but thermal conductivity z direction. But when you consider an elemental material that is a homogeneous material, whether it is x direction or y direction or z direction, the thermal conductivity is constant. So we assume for the analysis purpose, kx is equal to ky is equal to kz is equal to simply k at the end of the substitutions while doing it. Right. So for that, this is a homogeneous material, so we assume this kx is equal to ky is equal to kz is equal to k. Right. So this is the basic terminology which is used with respect to this diagram. Next, what must be calculated here? That's important. The net heat accumulated in the element due to conduction of heat from all three directions considered. I write that as A. Listen carefully, because for all the derivations, this formula is essential. This formula, A plus B is equal to C. That's all. What is A, what is B, what is C? That is important. B and C are very easy. Don't bother about. You don't need to bother about for the B and C. That is, if you know the volume, you will get it. It doesn't matter. But when you come to the A, that is difficult task, because the heat accumulated in each direction you have to calculate, and then total net heat accumulated need to be added. This A is nothing but the heat accumulated in all directions, in x direction, y direction, and z direction, plus heat generated within the element, that is B, is equal to energy stored in the element, that is C. Right? Else, or let Q is equal to rate of heat flow in a direction. Rate of heat flow. Heat flux is nothing but Q into d tau. D tau here, it is nothing but tau indicates the time. Because I am not talking about the steady state here. I am talking about the whether it is steady state, unsteady state, and all directions. All whatever possible energies are heated, the heats are there, all energies I am considering here. Right? The tau indicates here time. D tau is nothing but a small time. That means heat flow or flux. Q into tau, d tau within the particular time. It is in time. D tau is in time. In the particular direction. Right? So Q is rate of heat flow in a particular direction. Q dash indicates heat flux or heat flow. Right. So now we need to focus on this A, B, C. Right. So here, this total in this rate of heat conduction at X, Y, Z minus rate of heat conduction at X plus delta X, Y plus delta Y, and Z plus delta Z. This gives you the A. This total gives you A. This together gives you A. That need to be derived. That derivation need to be done. Next, the second case B, it is the rate of heat generation inside the element. That equation also will be given, don't worry. Next, the third one is the rate of the energy content in the element or the energy stored in the element. See, for this equation, I have enlarged. I have given in the next step. Next step is what you call next step simplification I have given. Right. So here it is very clear. A is nothing but net heat accumulated. What is that net heat accumulated? The rate of heat conduction at X, Y, Z directions. I mean to say X. I mean to say here delta X minus delta X plus dx plus excuse me Qx minus Qx plus dx plus Qy minus Qy plus dy plus Qz minus Qz plus dz. That is the meaning of this net heat accumulated. For example, net heat accumulated in x direction. What does it mean? Can anybody spell out? Yes, try to respond. Net heat accumulated in x direction. How can I write? Students, are you listening? Yes? Respond. Try to respond. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. If you don't respond, I can't say that whether you are hearing or not. Right? So, in the x direction, what is the heat accumulated? So, Qx minus Qx plus delta x. In y direction, Qy minus delta y. In z direction, Qz minus Qz plus delta z. So if you add this all, that becomes the net heat accumulated in the element due to conduction in all directions. Right? For that thing, we have to do the lot of analysis. Next, this is the heat generated within the element, and this is the energy stored in the element. Whatever energy stored with respect to the particular time. Next. So now let us derive one by one. So you don't bother about the B and C. Let me discuss the A because the A case is very critical, not even critical, it is a simple mathematics. You don't need to bother about it. Simple mathematics, just focus on it. After completing this class, just to practice it, you will get it. Doesn't matter. Right. So first of all, I need to find out the heat accumulated in x direction. Then I need to find out in y direction. Then I need to find out in z direction. Right. After that, I have to add all A, B, C. Just I'm going to discuss about the A. Here. Sorry. Yeah. Now, here I discuss about A. A is nothing but the total net heat accumulated in all three directions. Right. So what is the Fourier's law of heat conduction equation? Minus K into area into dt by dx. Right. So do you see here the Fourier's law of heat conduction here?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So heat influx. I'm calculating heat influx. Heat influx is nothing but be careful here because the approach will be analysis in the extended surfaces in the pins. A physical model, from the physical model to mathematical model to that solution to boundary conditions. All those things, there are steps to solve it. Right. Anyway, heat influx Qx dash. What does it mean? What I said? Q dash means, what is Q dash? What I said, Q dash. Q dash is nothing but Q into d tau.
D.
Yeah,
Yes.
with respect to some time.
Yes,
Right.
sir.
So here I'm kind of find out. I'm going to find the QH dash in x direction. I'm concentrating. Right. QH dash is equal to minus, according to the Fourier's law of heat conduction, minus Kx into what is the area in x direction? What is the area? X direction indicates YZ plane. When the heat is flowing towards the x direction, that is YZ plane actually. See, here, this is x direction. What becomes the heat transfer area? The YZ plane. In the y direction, XZ plane. XZ plane. In the z direction, XY plane. Right? So, if the heat is transferring in the x direction, the area becomes the YZ plane. So, what is the area? How the area becomes? So, dy into dz becomes the area of heat transfer through x direction. Right? Understood? Understood? Shall I repeat again or here?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Up to this is clear.
Oh. Now, net heat accumulated in the, we are calculating this, right? So here, minus k into kx, because I am taking in x direction, kx dy dz is the area, dou t by dou x. Dou t is the change in temperature with respect to that particular direction, thickness in that direction, dou x into d tau, because I am calculating heat influx. Let us put this as equation number 1. That is heat influx in x direction. Right? Next, during the same time interval, time is not changing here, same time interval, the heat flowing out of the right phase, EFGH, will be heat efflux. That heat efflux is nothing but this. Right? Qx plus dx is nothing but Qx dash. Be clear here? Qx dash plus dou by dou x of q dash into dx, because dx thickness it is moving. That means this is very small quantity. This total is very small quantity. That is written. That means it is added one. Right? So q x dash plus this added small quantity, small change during that particular phase, during that particular thickness to the another phase. That is called as heat efflux. Right? Now, the heat accumulated you need to calculate. The net heat accumulated in that particular direction. What is that particular direction means? In the x direction. So this is about the heat influx and this is about the heat efflux. Now, I need to calculate the net value, that is dqx dash. That means equation 2 minus equation 1, if you do, you will get this, right? What is equation 2? For example, qx dash, sorry, equation 1 and 2, this minus this, qx dash minus qx dash plus dx. If you do that, qx minus qx dash, this value is qx plus dx dash, that value, 1 minus 2, right? I'm not substituting this entire value here. Firstly, just I'm simply doing qx dash minus qx plus dx dash, that I'm doing. So this x dash, as usual, I have written in place of this x plus dx dash, I have written this totally. So after simplifying, this qx dash and qx dash gets cancelled. This and this gets cancelled. So this is minus is multiplying here. Minus dou by dou x of qx dash into dx you will get. This term you will get. That is the remaining term. But I know that what is qx dash? This total quantity. If I substitute this total quantity in place of this, say minus dou by dou x of in place of qx plus qx dash, I write this entire thing. This entire thing has derived from here. Into this dx is common because this dx is there, so I have written the dx here. Are you clear up to here? Yes? Are you clear?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Up to this step, if you are clear, I'll move to the next step. Again, so I'm multiplying this minus and this minus, it gets plus, and I take dou by dou x as common as usual, kx dou t by dou y, kx dou t by dou y. This I have separated, these two, and I have taken out the dy, dz and dx. These are the things I have taken out, right? So for that equation, I have written it as 2.1. This is the heat accumulated. The dqx dash is nothing but heat accumulated in x direction. In the same way, if you do in the same way, this is in x direction, right? The same heat accumulated, if you calculate in y direction, follow the same procedure. What I have done for this, follow the same procedure, but instead of x, you will just put the y, right? You will get this. Instead of x, you put z, you will get this. You get for the z direction. Same procedure. But what is the difference here? In x direction, the area is dy into dz. Can anybody tell me what is the area in y direction?
Dx into dz, sir.
Dx into dz. In z direction?
Dx into dy.
Dx into dy. Only thing is this parameter will change. At the same time, a kx, ky, kz will change. That's all. After simplifying, you will get these two equations. Right? If you add dqx dash plus dqy dash plus dqz dash, that these three together is called as A. That is called as net heat accumulated within the element in all three directions because of conduction. Right? So this is about the heat accumulated case for the Cartesian system. A, that is for A case. Keep in mind, I am taking out here dx, dy, dz and d tau. Dx, dy, dz and d tau. Dx, dy, dz and tau. Right. Now I move to the B. Very easy. B is easy for all the cases. So if you see here, I can write the net heat accumulated thing. Whatever the, see, dou by dou x into kx into dou d by dou x plus all those things. This is in x direction. This is in y direction. This is for the z direction. Right? At the same time, commonly I can write this as dou by dou x of kx into this has taken common in all the three equations. Right? Simply I can write it as kx into dou square t by dou x square, dou square t by dou y square, plus kz into dou square t by dou z square. Also I can write. It doesn't matter. The simplification purpose at the end also you can write it. No issue. Right. So this is the net heat accumulated. That is A. Now B. B is very easy. Very easy. Right. So here the total heat generated within the element. That means if you take any object, whatever quantity of generation of heat, it doesn't matter. For example, if you take nanoparticles, it generates the heat. When you add it to the fuel, suppose for example biofuels, if you have biofuels have less calorific values than the normal diesel. Biodiesel has less calorific value. But upon addition of the nanoparticle to that particular fuel, the calorific value increases in general. I'm telling one example. Why? The nanoparticle is nothing but a solid particle which generates heat. That means which generates the heat within the element. That influence the increase of increase of the calorific value of the particular nano fuel or that particular substance. That has that property. So that is the reason that the total every material, solid material generates some heat within the particular element. That heat generated Qg dash. Qg is nothing but small qg. That means this is called as internal heat generation. The qg is nothing but internal heat generation. Right? So the total heat generated is nothing but qg dash or qg actually. Qg is nothing but internal heat generation into volume. The definition of the total heat generated is nothing but internal heat generation by the material or within the elemental material into volume. Volume is nothing but dx, dy, dz, as I said. Right? Why I am writing qg dash? I am writing qg dash, so I am multiplying with d tau, because qg is nothing but, or heat flux is nothing but heat into time. I gave the definition at the beginning of this explanation. Right? So here, for everything, keep in mind everything. This is common. Qg is internal heat generation. It has some value. We don't know that value. And this dx, dy, dz is nothing but the volume. So here cylindrical Cartesian coordinates I have taken. So the volume is dx, dy, dz. If I take some other cylindrical coordinate system, that volume will only change. For example, r cos theta, dz, dr, something like that. The volume you need to put in. So that is about the B. Coming to the next case, see the energy stored within the element. Energy stored within the element. That MCP delta T, you know, right? The total heat accumulated in the element due to heat flow among the coordinate axes. Right? And the heat generated within the element is 2.5. That is different case. Right? Here, the energy stored in the element MCP delta T, we know. Right? What is MCP delta T here? But in place of MCP delta T, we have written Q is equal to, let us say, Q is equal to MC dt. We know this. This is the famous formula. Right? What is M?
Density into volume, sir.
Yeah. You know the density. Right? Density, what is the density? Mass density. Mass per unit volume.
Unit volume.
Right? Mass per unit volume. Suppose if you want mass, M is equal to rho into Cp. Sorry, rho into V. So here, this is the rho value. This is the rho, and this one is V. This together is called as M. Cp. This C indicates Cp here. Delta T with respect to some time. I don't know whether it is steady state or unsteady state. I am not talking specifically. So with respect to some time, so So dou tau in d tau. So here also, for all three cases, only this volume changes. Keep in mind. And in the internal heat generation also, only volume changes. Rest of the things are same. Rest of the things are remains same. Right. So heat stored in the body is equal to mass of the body into specific heat of the material and temperature with respect to time. And d tau we have multiplied because we are talking in terms of the flux, so we have multiplied with d tau. Now we know all A, B, C, right? We attained all A, B, and C. Now we have to simplify. What is our formula? A is equal to B plus C. Sorry, A plus B is equal to C. Here, A plus B is equal to C. Right? We have to now substitute all the parameters, all the derived quantities, whatever we had, that need to be substituted here. See, this part is nothing but A. This part is nothing but A, and this part is nothing but B, and this part is nothing but C. Is my highlighting clear to you guys?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Right. So here, if you see, what is the common in both sides?
Volume.
Volume and d tau, right?
Yes, sir.
So in the left side equation, this is the common, right? So dx, dy, dz into d tau is common, and here also right side also dx, dy, dz into d tau is common, right? Shall I cancel this? Yes or no? Yes or no? Cancel Yuksha, both
Yes,
sides?
sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. After cancelling, you will get this. That means this part and this QC and this part along with this rho. Rho C, dou D by dou tau. Understood? Right. So now here, this is the final equation we obtained. Right. So now what I am doing is, because the material is composite material, whatever direction it may be, so the thermal conductivity is I am putting it as K. Here also K. Here also K. That means Kx, Ky, Kz is equal to K1. Right. If I put that equation, what it becomes? So you people are aware of it, because this can be written as in terms of vector and scalars. Right. I don't want to go in depth about the vectors and all. See here. So if you write in place of kx, ky, kz, if I put k, what it becomes? So this is k and this is k and this is k. The k is common, right? The k is common for all these, and this becomes dou square t by dou x square, dou square t by dou y square, dou square t by dou z square. Right. So this is Qg, and here it is rho C into dou T by dou tau. Rho C into dou T by dou tau. Right. What I am doing? So in this case, here I take K as common. I am taking K as common. So that what happens? So K into dou square T by dou x square plus dou square T by dou y square plus dou square T by dou z square plus Qg is equal to this, right? Again, if I divide with K and both direct LHS, sorry, left side and right side, so the remaining thing is in the left side dou square T by dou x square plus dou square T by dou y square plus dou square T by dou z square plus, because I am dividing both sides here, nothing is there here, So I'll get a new term here, Qg by K, because I'm dividing both sides by K. At the same time, this side also I'm dividing with K. So here, this K by rho Cp is nothing but thermal diffusivity I have defined. At the starting, while defining the thermal conductivity, immediately I have defined the thermal diffusivity. That is nothing but thermal conductivity by thermal capacity. This is one of the material property which will be used in the study unsteady state heat transfer, I said. Right? So if I simplify, so this is rho C by K here. This is rho C by K. Hence, what I can do here? It is rho C by K. So if I do it K by rho Cp, this becomes 1 by alpha. Right? So rho Cp by K. This is rho Cp by K. This is K by rho Cp. Right? K by rho Cp is nothing but alpha. But if it is reversed, so 1 by alpha into dou T by dou. So here, this is called as the complete heat conduction equation for the Cartesian coordinate system. This is the complete equation of heat conduction equation for the Cartesian coordinate system. Understood? Everybody? Yes? Kindly respond. Is
Yes.
it clear?
Yes, sir. Up to this, it is clear.
Yeah. Now, somebody said no in the chat box. Where are you have doubt? Let me know where you have doubt. You have doubts, raise where you have doubt. Speak out, no issue. Repeat from one, from beginning. Yeah. There is no better method than this in online class to explain the derivations and equations in problems. So I have chosen the better method. Right. So anyway, you know that A plus B, A is nothing but the net heat accumulated, and B is nothing but heat generated within the element. Heat generated is nothing but the internal heat generation into volume. Right. The internal heat generation is nothing but heat generated per unit volume. Heat generated per unit volume is nothing but the internal heat generation. The energy stored in the element, that is mCp delta T with respect to that particular type. We don't know whether it is steady state or unsteady state. And we need to calculate the heat influx in the respective directions, because to find out the cumulative or net heat accumulated in all directions, we have to calculate the qx dash and qx plus dx dash. Qx dash, it is nothing but the Fourier's law of heat conduction equation into d tau. Why we have written d tau? Because of the flux. During that the same time, heat efflux we need to calculate. That heat efflux is nothing but heat influx plus the small change in heat influx. Heat efflux is nothing but small change in heat influx plus the heat influx. That is the heat efflux. If I take the 1 minus 2, I'll get the dqx dash. That dqx dash is nothing but the cumulative the heat accumulation in x direction. If we simplify this dx dash, we will get it. At the same time, dy dash, dz dash, we need to calculate in the respective directions. While doing these areas, we have to be careful. Right, in the x direction, the yz plane, y direction, xz plane, z direction, xy plane. Based on that, you have to put the areas. Right. This is the net heat accumulated, the total heat accumulated, which can be which was attained by different directions. Next, energy generated, QG, total heat or energy generated in QG is the small QG indicates the internal heat generation into volume. We are multiplying with d tau, which since we need because energy balance is required both sides. A plus B is equal to C is nothing but both sides the units should be balanced. That's the reason here also when you find out the heat flux in one case, A case, B case also heat flux, C case also heat flux. In first case it is in kilojoules, in second case it is in kilowatts, and third case it is in kilowatts. There is no units balanced. That is the reason you have to balance it. Next, the energy stored in the element, again mCp delta T. If you rearrange it, the equation and simplify it, and you will get this final equation. So this is the quick revision of it. This is the final equation. From this, how will you classify these equations? That is the next issue. So this is the equation. For example, Poisson's equation, Laplace equation. What is Poisson's equation? What is Laplace equation? Be clear here. Right. So you know that the complete equation dou square t by dou x square plus dou square t by dou y square plus dou square t by dou z square plus qg by k is equal to 1 by alpha into dou t by dou tau. Previously we have seen that in the previous slide. That is the final equation. If that right side is 0, right side equation is 0, that is called as Poisson's equation. That means that is steady state, not unsteady state. Unsteady state means time also comes into picture. So here there is no time in this equation. So when it is a steady state, or the right side is 0, don't draw anything on the screen kindly. It's my request. Right. So Poisson's equation. If right side the term is 0, that is Poisson's equation. But internal heat generation is there, and this is the Laplace equation. This is the familiar equation, Laplace equation, dou square t by dou x square plus dou square t by dou y square plus dou square t by dou z. Right. That is one thing. Why it is Laplace equation? You have studied in your fluid mechanics also. Okay. If both internal heat generation and the right side term is 0, that is called as Poisson's equation. That is called as Poisson's equation. Both internal heat generation Qg by K is 0 and right side 1 by alpha into dou 2 by dou tau is 0, then that's called as the C. I write here. If this is 0, that is only Poisson's equation. If both are 0, Laplace equation. Keep in mind, if one is 0, this is 0, Poisson's equation. If this is also 0 together with this, then that is Laplace equation. And if only this is 0, then that is called as Fourier's equation. This entire equation is called as Fourier's equation. 1 by alpha into dou t by dou tau. Three-dimensional equations. Now I put small questions to you. For example, I won't go here. Okay, I will go here only. Anybody can spell it out. For example, and this is 0, this is 0, this is 0. What this equation? What is this equation? Two-dimensional Laplace equation. What is this? Two-dimensional Laplace equation. Suppose this is also 0, one-dimensional Laplace equation. For example, I make this as 0, this as 0, and this as 0. What does it mean? If right side term is 0, what I said? Poisson's equation.
Poisson's
right?
equation. Yes, sir.
So there are only one dimension.
One-dimensional Poisson's equation.
Right. For example, I make this as 0 and this is also 0. What does it mean?
Two-dimensional Fourier equation, sir.
Two-dimensional Fourier equation.
Fourier equation.
Fourier equation. Right? So if the internal heat generation is zero, then that is called as Fourier equation. If this term, right side term is zero, that is called as Poisson's equation. If both are zero, that is called as Laplace equation. Right? If one dimension is zero, then that becomes two dimension. Right? For example, y dimension is also zero, that is one dimension. So this is about the general heat conduction equation for the Cartesian system. Understood? Shall we continue for 5 more minutes? 5 to 10 minutes, because we have started lately.
No, sir.
Huh? Just 5 minutes. Just 5 minutes. I'll give the brief for that is easy only. Here. General heat, I'll discuss tomorrow elaborately all these two. Don't worry. Just I give the briefly about this. General heat conduction equation in cylindrical coordinates. In previous case, we have studied about the Cartesian system. Here it is cylindrical system, right? So this is the cylindrical object, elemental volume, small elemental volume of the cylindrical system, right? Whose coordinates are r, phi, z. In previous case, we studied x, y, z. Here r, phi, z. That means r direction, let us assume it as x direction, phi direction, y direction, z direction is z direction. So here, if we observe, this is QR, this is QR plus DR. QR is nothing but what? The heat influx in R direction. QR plus DR is nothing but heat efflux in R direction. At the same time, here it is Q phi, here it is Q phi plus D phi. Here it is QZ, here QZ plus DZ. Right? The respective heat fluxes, influxes and heat effluxes. But in the R direction, what is the thickness? This is the R direction dr. That means x is nothing but dx. R is nothing but dr here. Right. Next, phi direction here, R d phi. This is the thickness. R d phi. So these things also you have learned, all the polar coordinates you have studied in your mathematics. How these came, R d phi and the R and the Z, dr and Z. Right. Next, in the Z direction, it is dz only, the thickness. Right. Here the thing is, the thicknesses are very important. If you don't, you will get confused. That is what this is little bit tough. I said. The procedure is same. Again, you apply the Fourier's law. You try to do this as an assignment, or you practice it, because you will get in the exam. Definitely, you will get one derivation from these three. And the easiest method, easiest way I am explaining you. Right. So in place of dx, it is dr. In place of dy, it is r d phi. In place of z, dz, again it is dz. It doesn't matter. Dz is easy only. Whatever you have done in the previous case, in the same way. Z direction, so we leave it. But here the thing is, in r direction, what is the area? Can anybody tell? Yes? In r direction, what is the area? C code.
dr into dz, sir.
Yeah, dr into
dz.
No, r direction. In the r direction, thickness I have given dr.
Yes, sir.
So in r direction, which plane it is? Phi and z plane. The phi and z plane. What is the thickness in the phi? R d phi.
R d phi.
What is thickness in the z direction? Dz.
dz. Okay, sir.
Right. Again, in z direction, what is the area? Z direction means R5 plane. What is the thickness in R direction? The R, dr. dr into R d phi. That is the area. Right? In phi direction, what is the area? dr and dz. dr into dz. Can you tell me the final question? What is the volume of this element? What is the volume of this element? Yes?
dr dz into r d phi, sir.
dr dz into r d phi. Exactly.
R d phi. Yes, sir.
Right,
Yes.
that's all thicknesses we have to multiply here, because dx, dy, dz we said volume. Right, here again dr dz into r d phi, that is the volume. Right, the same thing for the spherical coordinates also we'll derive in the next class. So I think I'll stop here. If you have any questions, let me know. At the end of this completion of this unit, I'll share the entire PPT. Okay? Are you okay for this?
Yes, sir.
After completion of this particular unit, probably in 2 classes, I'll share the entire what it called PPT. Okay? I think with this I'll end this. If you don't have any questions, if you have any questions, let me know. Don't worry. Try to learn. This is not a one-way process, right? You can raise your questions. You can clarify your doubts. With my knowledge, with the best of my knowledge, I can solve your problems. Right? If I'm unable to do it this at a particular time, I'll learn and I'll let you know. Don't worry. Right? So we'll stop here. If you don't have any questions.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. Thank you.